What's up, everybody? So I'm gonna try to ink a little bit of this illustration I did the other day. Hopefully it turns out pretty clear and this isn't too blurry. So what I'm using is a dip pen, Tachikawa is the holder, and the nib itself is a little G nib. So these are really popular for like inking and manga and stuff like that. But it's just a really fine tip. It's really flexible, and you can get some really like dynamic lines with it. And then I'm using this ink. It's kind of hard to see because it's spilled so many times. I forgot what the first part is, but it's a detailer ink. But this is water resistant, so you can use like watercolors on it. You can go over with Copic markers, and it won't smudge or smear. So I'd recommend this stuff. I got this from Jet Pens if you're interested in getting it yourself. So I'm just gonna shake this up a little bit. So I'm just gonna like ink just the top half of this because I haven't even finished this illustration. We are in business. So I think I'll just start with the little head part of it and work my way down. Hopefully you can see that. It's not too blurry. My hand's not in the way. Okay. Just gotta get this ink to flow. There we go. So as you can see, it's just really how fast you move. You can get some really cool line variation. And the reason I use this particular blue is like when you scan it, it's not supposed to like show, but you can also kind of get rid of it kind of easy in Photoshop too. So all right, start with the face. Hopefully I'll mess this one up. I always get nervous. Do you guys hold your breath when you draw too? Alright. And I like it because it's almost like a drawing with a pencil. It gives that same kind of scratchiness to it. So I feel like I can get like that same pencil vibe. And I'm not exactly following my traced lines. I'm kind of fine-tuning them as I go here. Adding a little bit more shadow, kind of carving out some of the features. Okay. Yeah, I looked at a few different reference images as well as the original movie. Or reference images from the movie, I should say. And some of the like random model pictures, and try to do my own rendition of Princess Mononoke. If you've never seen this anime, it's a classic. I'd put it up there with like, just being a classic, I'd put it up there with like Akira, you know, My Neighbor Totoro. Like these are like classic animes that people should see if they haven't already. Make that a little thicker. You can see how much ink is left in there. Just a little bit at the tip. That should be enough for the whole face. At least the outline. I'm just pressing really light. Press down more, I can get that thicker line. I don't have like the best or most steady hand to do inking, so it takes me a little while. It always amazes me to see people do their ink. I just slowly started getting back into doing art. I took a little mini break. As I said in the previous video, my mother had passed away, so I've been still grieving that. I don't think that actually goes away. It just kind of, you learn to live with it. So I really wasn't motivated to make anything for a while. It's kind of been interesting as I've been kind of going through some of her things and discovering new stuff about her. She was really artistic as well, apparently. She had like wood carving tools, stuff for making jewelry, watercolors, acrylics. So I'm like, that's where I got it from. It was funny, and we never had these conversations. She knew I was artsy and did a lot of art-related things, but I had no idea that she did all the things that I kind of do. So now I'm just trying to follow the direction I think the hair is flowing here. I might put this all in silhouette. I don't know yet. Still not decided. So rotate this page here. Move that ink out the way because I knocked it over once. It's the same table I had before, just flipped over. But on the other side of this thing is a big old ink blot now because it can be a little clumsy. And I knocked over a whole jar of ink. Yeah, it was upsetting. Like, no. These things aren't cheap. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these art supplies can start adding up real fast. The one part about being an adult is you can actually start buying all of these random art things. And this accumulates. So, there it goes. I haven't really decided on the hairstyle. I probably should have did that before I started inking. I just got excited because I wanted to ink, and it's been a while. So, you know what? It's not the best. It's not the worst. I think I might add a little bit more ink to this though. I just like the classic feel of actually physically having to dip your pen and refill it. I don't know, there's something textural thing about it that's fun for me. Makes me feel like a real artist. There you go. Anywho, let's see. All right. I know this video is probably not going to have millions of views because it's not the most entertaining, but it's therapeutic. It's fun for me. Hopefully somebody might find some enjoyment out of this thing. Learn some techniques, maybe? I don't know. I feel like that eyebrow's a little too thin. She's a lady of the woods. I don't think she's getting her eyebrows done. So why are they so thin? There you go. And of course, this isn't like a one-to-one replication of like how the character actually looks. It's kind of my own interpretation of it. I like the style from like Boondocks, how their hair is kind of all over the place. I just love that it has a weird texture. So I like using that for hair, for whatever it may be. Like, just adds like this extra little layer to it. Let's see. I'm curious out there, do you guys have a favorite anime that you watched or grew up with? I loved, well, they changed the name here in the US, but over here in the US it was called Ronin Warriors. I think it was called something Troopers Across Seas. But it was really dope. You had like these like Ronin soldier kind of dudes, and their armor would kind of appear on them after they were about to get into battle mode there. You know, really cool character designs and action scenes and stuff. Let's see, where do I want the shadow? I don't know where I want the lighting to come from just yet. I think maybe from the top left. Some kind of has some little broken up lines, kind of following the contours. I still don't know what I want to do with that hand. It looks a little crazy to me right now. Kind of leaving it as is. But yeah, going back to my question, what was your favorite anime growing up? There it is. So, all right. Hopefully this is somewhat entertaining. Let's see. And her shoulder be lower, be about right here. I have the habit of closing up all the lines, and I don't need to, and I'm trying to grow out of it. I see a lot of the illustrators and artists that I love, like Jim Lee and stuff, and I'm trying my damnedest to like adapt to their technique, because they don't always add all the lines. It's just enough to kind of indicate where things are going. Just like a little thing like that, boop, and then you know that line's connecting. I guess it's just developing the eye for that. I guess I shouldn't beat myself up too much. I've barely been drawing. Let's see. Oh, nice and heavy with this one. Oop, kind of messed it up. Yeah, it's crazy seeing how people ink their comics. If you haven't got a chance to check out some people online, say do it while you can. See, I shouldn't have put that line there because it almost gives you the impression that her arm's visible to this thing. So I think this is going to be like all shadow. Yeah. I have to break this up somehow. I think I'll have to add some kind of texture. This whole thing's going to be filled in. I'll have to add some kind of texture to this. But this is supposed to be white, so how can I break this up? Let's see. Add some little curved lines to our arm. Looks a little scratchy. Okay. Just kind of add some little hatch marks to kind of help. Okay. Try not to mess this up too much. It's another thing I didn't start doing until like later was like warm-up sketches. Just like anything else, you wouldn't think of it, but it's not a bad idea. Like if you're gonna play sports, you're supposed to kind of warm up. Same thing when you're drawing. It helps to do a warm-up sketch, just to kind of get your hand moving, get your brain working, get that coordination going.